All right. So, what is Red Clay Traveler doing now that he's got a sick barn/shed find 59 Willys truck? Well, what do you think? Ask yourself, what do you think Red Clay Traveler would be doing? What did he do last night? What did he do today? We've been working on the truck. So, there's good news and there's bad news. So the good news is a Super Hurricane 226 Willys engine has approximately 4,000 head bolts. I mean, there's a lot of them. And we were able to get them all out without breaking one, which is just, I'm still having trouble believing it because it's just, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for that to be what would happen. But it did. We got them all out. That's what all them right there, these are all head bolts. That's how many there is. And there's a couple on the floor. So, I mean, there's a lot of them. So we got the head off. Let me get a flashlight here. We got the head off so that we could see what kind of situation we got internally. Ooh, there we go. That's all right. This radiator's no good anyway. This radiator's out of the truck. And besides being a rat nest, it's got a massive hole in it there. It's destroyed there, destroyed in the bottom. So that radiator might get it rebuilt, or we might just pull one out of one of these other trucks I got because, you know, why not? So we got the head pulled off. And this is the situation. So I'm going to try to bring you in here. I just took the water pump off just to get it out of the way. It's really not that bad. There's just no good way to light this for you. It's not that bad on the first 5 cylinders. This cylinder right here is good. That one don't look bad. That one doesn't look bad. That one's not bad. That one's not bad. But that one in the back right there looks pretty raunchy. It's got a lot of rust in that one. So, I don't know. I'm gonna let it soak like this for a few days either way and let it lubricate. That one valve back there looks horrendous too. It looks like it's almost welded to the block. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic. We're going to be optimistic. We're gonna pretend everything's okay. You know. Let's see. Trying to get some light on my face. It's so dark in here. Ooh, that's mysterious. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Valves aren't that big a deal. I'm not excited about it, but we can always pull the valves and put new valves in it. These first 5 cylinders I think are probably fine. Probably do like a real light honing. But that 6th cylinder back there, that one's the one that one's concerning. It makes me a little bit emotional because it appears to be pretty bad. Which if it's pitted, you can hone it all you want and you'll basically just have that cylinder dead. And then we have a 5-cylinder Willys. And rebuilding one of these engines is not as cost effective as it once was. I actually had a guy not that long ago, he's like, they're cheap and easy to rebuild. Cheap and easy to rebuild is not exactly what I would call it. I would probably have just the master rebuild kit, everything that you need to rebuild it. If your crank is good, is like $1,700, $1,500. I've seen it different prices, but just piston rings, bearings, all that kind of stuff to do that, valves, everything. That's before shipping, so that's pretty pricey. And then you've got the problem of, you know, if you need your crank turned if you need your head worked on, if you have the cylinders professionally done. Trying to find a shop that will actually do that is not as easy as it used to be, at least not around here. A lot of the guys around here don't want to mess with these old engines. And I actually knew a guy that would, and he's basically priced himself out of it because he doesn't want to do it anymore. And if he's going to do it, he's going to charge you. So, if I can't get anything out of this engine, then we're just going to see about trying to find out if we can't find another engine, which is nice. If you've ever looked for an engine for something, especially something old and antiquated such as this, one of my favorite things in the world is when a guy's got an engine for sale and you ask him, is it stuck? And the response is something to the effect of, I don't think so, not that I'm aware of, I'm not sure, something like that. And then if you look at the price, you'll notice that he wants like top dollar if it was freshly painted and running. And see, what we call this is horrible people, okay? Because if the engine is unknown, if it's just an unknown variable, right? If you can't even tell me if it's stuck, okay? Like, I can't get to that engine over there, but I would get to it and show it to you. But we're talking about a 5-minute thing here, okay? You want to know if this engine's stuck before I ever even took it apart? I already knew it was stuck, but you want to know how you do that? You walk over here real casual, okay, real casual. There's a fan blade right here, okay? There's a belt that attaches to the crank right there. You grab this fan, okay, grab it, and then you see if it'll rotate, and you watch that pulley right there and see if the damn thing moves. That's it. You know, it takes 30 seconds. Just see if the damn thing's stuck before you post it on there for $17,000. Just do that. Do us all a favor. Stop looking like an asshole. Just tell us. It's not that big a deal. There's guys like me that will drive to Kansas or Arkansas or wherever to buy the engine if you can just give us something to work with. I mean, this is the bare minimum to work with. Just because it's not stuck doesn't mean anything. That engine over there that you can't see that's behind that glass cabinet, it turns over real good, real super smooth. You know why? Because it doesn't have any compression because it's worn out. But it turns over like butter. So, I mean, it's not like just because it turns over that means it's peachy keen. It doesn't even tell you that. You don't even know. So, I mean, if we're going to work in the dark, at least give me a candle or something so that we can know, like, well, at least it's not stuck. Then we can go from there. We can do a compression test. We can figure some stuff out. I know I'm not just working shoved against the wall, you know. But apparently everybody likes that. They want to, I don't know, they want to answer thousands of questions, and they want to struggle for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not advantageous. There's several engines on there, and that's the exact scenario. You go on the Willys forums, they've got an engine, a 226, $1,500. Is it stuck? I don't know. Why? Why don't you know? Why? Why don't you know that? It goes back to that other video on how not to sell a Willys. Maybe this is like a caveat on how not to sell a Willys engine, because all the same principles apply. You know, if you know the engine is no good, just tell us that. It's still worth, even if it's no good, it's still worth, you know, $400, $500, $600, $700, something, depending on if the head's good and the block's not cracked and stuff. If it's a good rebuildable engine, you've got something to work with. But when the engine looks like you dredged it up off the bottom of the Baltic, and you're, for whatever reason, just demanding top dollar price, you make yourself look bad, and you frustrate the rest of us. There's no reason for this. It's like, for example, there was a guy up in North Georgia, Jeep man, Jeep connoisseur man, big Jeep man, you know, go-to guy. And I got a hold of him, and I said, do you have L-head 134, because I was looking for an L-head at the time for a CJ2A. Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of these engines. I said, are any of them stuck? Well, there's 3 of them that aren't stuck. So he actually answered that. And I said, well, do we know anything about them? Do they have compression? Had they spun a bearing? Do you know anything about them? Because he's the guy that pulled them out of the Jeep. So he ought to know something. I don't know. I know they're not stuck and they've got what appears to have compression. What do you want for the engine that's been sitting out in the rain for the last 10 years? That probably isn't free when you go over there and actually look at it. $700. I wasn't expecting it to be free, but I was expecting, well, since it's a complete total shot in the dark, you're playing Russian roulette with this engine. I don't know, maybe something reasonable, $500, $400, or trade some Jeep parts or something. Just something, because chances are the engine's no good. If it was good, it probably wouldn't be sitting out in the rain. Now would it? So, this is the hassle. This is the only part of this that I don't enjoy. I love buying these trucks. I love working on them. I like selling them. I like that. The worst part is dealing with people. For every one guy like the guy that I got this truck from, who was an absolute joy to work with and deal with and do business with, for every one guy like him, there's 37 that are not that. And so it's just... It takes a little bit of the fun out of it. Fortunately, the Willys are sick, and so they compensate quite well for that. All that aside, Rant aside, we're trying to get this engine, at least determine if it's dead or not. And, I don't know. I'm hoping that we can do something with it, but if that rear piston is pitted to no end, then it's really a lost cause. But the good news is there was a time when I needed an oil pan for one of these engines, and I couldn't get one for any amount of money. There was no amount of money in the world that could get me one of these oil pans for a 226. And hell, now I've got 2 or 3 of them. So that's cool. You just keep buying engines that are stuck, but you get good oil pans and generators that are no good. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, I got the head taken off yesterday when I got the truck here. I got it taken off. It went pretty well. The head actually looks pretty good. So even at the end of the day, even if this engine is no good, you've got a good block, because the block doesn't appear to be cracked. None of the freeze plugs are blown out of it or anything. You've got a good exhaust manifold. You've got a good carburetor. You've got a good oil pan. You got the timing chain cover. You got the head. You've got the crank is probably fine in it, and the crank is worth a bunch of money because the new ones are exceptionally expensive, and usually you don't need a new one, so you can have the other one worked on. So there's still plenty of good parts, even if this engine is no good. So that's good news, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would say, from a certain point of view. But the problem is that we need an engine if we can't rectify this situation. All I want to do is take it up into the mountains and drive it. Is that too much? It sits for 30 years, and then Reclay Traveler gets a hold of it, and he wants to be driving it in 15 minutes? Is that unreasonable? People tell me that's unreasonable. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't think so. I don't think it's unreasonable. It just might be a lofty goal. But hey, if you're watching this and you've got a 226 Super Hurricane engine just kicking it around on your back porch, and it's actually not stuck, and you are willing to sell it, and you want less than what it would cost to buy a Maserati, then send me an email. Okay? My email is on my page. It's reclaytraveler@yahoo.com. Send me an email. tell me about the engine, all right? That would be cool. It'd be cooler if you did. You know, if you got one laying around and you're not emotionally attached to it. I could probably use it at some point. So yeah, and if any of y'all watching this, if y'all got some crap, or if you see something on here that you want, send me an email. I sell crap all the time. I've got parts all over the place. I've got axles and drive shafts and rear ends and crap everywhere, all over the place. My brother's going to disown me if I keep dragging this crap home. So if you need something, if you want the front half of that truck out there that I cut in half, you know, if you've got a sick compulsion to have the front half of a Willys sitting in your yard, like, let me know, you know. If you would like a slightly used head gasket off of a 226, let me know. $5. It's all yours, you know. But, yeah. So that's a little update on the new 59 Willys. So, yeah. We're not in despair. We're trying to figure out the best course of action. That's all. We're trying to figure out the best course of action for the new Willys. And also, every time I go to get the truck in Virginia, by the way, every time a snowstorm comes up and it gets in the way. So there's allegedly another one coming. I don't know if it's going to hit that far north or not. I don't know, but we're going to see loosely if I can go get it the first week of February at some point, and see if I can't go get the FC 170. Because I really would like to have that truck here. I miss it. I would like to spend time with it. So I'm hoping maybe that'll work out. If we don't have another snowpocalypse, then I will try to go up there, because I'm not worried about going up there to get it. It's the coming back, pulling the truck, because that truck's not, you know, it's not crazy heavy, but it's not exactly something you want to be driving. You're dragging 700 miles, you know, or 600 miles, whatever, however, in the snow and ice and stuff. It's not exactly something you want to do like that. So we're working on it. We haven't forgotten about it. This truck's pretty sick, and that's another option that we have, and I've decided against it already, because that FC 170 has the engine I need for this truck. But that would be blasphemous to pull the running engine out of that FC 170 to put into this truck, because that FC 170 is a dramatically rare truck. They made dramatically fewer of them. They are extremely rare, and that truck is in too good a shape to be cut out and cut apart like that and pull its engine out. But I'm not going to do that anyway, because that other truck is too good of a truck to take the engine out of it, because if you do that, that truck will be useless. Nobody will ever mess with it again. So we can't have that. We're about fixing trucks and giving them second chances here on Red Clay Travelers channel. We're not about cutting them up, all right? If you want to watch guys with weird haircuts and sleeve tattoos work on Monte Carlos, then you're watching the wrong channel, because that's not what we do here. We work on Willys and AMCs and, you know, the vintage Jeeps. That's what we're about. And we're about making them operational, and every now and then finding them a forever home. So we're not here about dismemberment. That's not what we're about. So, as opposed to what a lot of guys do and slam a 454 into their Willys, we're not doing that. We're going to put a 226 in the truck that came with a 226. That's what we're going to do. It might take a while. We might have to push this truck into the building for a little bit until we can track down an engine, because I can't I can't justify spending whatever, 4 or 5 grand rebuilding an engine for this truck, because the turnaround time on that, the amount of money put into it, without doing a full-blown restoration on this truck and getting it painted and everything, it wouldn't make any logical sense to put that kind of money into this truck. At least not just into one part of it, if that makes sense. I'm not opposed to it in the future. I'm not opposed to restoring this truck back to its former glory. But it just wouldn't make sense to dump all that money into the engine and then turn around and just keep it like it is. And I know you might be shocked by this, but I'm not independently wealthy. I don't have Warren Buffett's money, so it's a laborious decision when it's trying to figure out what the best thing to do with these trucks is. And I hope you enjoyed the other video. I hope you have a pleasant tomorrow, and I hope that you smash that subscribe button. We're doing good. We're getting close to 500. We want to get to 500, and then we'll do a giveaway. And once we get to 500, then we get to 250 trillion, okay? I'm keeping it realistic. So, it's 500, then 250 trillion subscribers. So, it'd be cool, you know. Or, if it doesn't make any difference, because I'm going to still mess with Jeeps, and I'm still going to film it, and I'm still going to put it on here. So either way, you get Red Clay Traveler. So it's really a win-win for you. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Tell your friends, share it, like it, comment, and keep on keeping on. And I will see you all shortly. Thanks for watching. Willys Trucks for life. Get it.